everyone, how lovely to see you again. Hello. It's great to see you, and it's spring. Imagine one quarter of the year has gone already. Whoa. And so what do we have in the sky for April? Well, so exciting. We are in the middle of an eclipse season. Woo! And we get these eclipses come in bunches, so you can get 2 or 3 or 4 in a line every 2 weeks. But the two that are most important this time are the solar eclipse that happened on the 20th of March and the lunar eclipse, which is going to happen on the 4th of April. So, what's an eclipse all about? Well, for the ancients, it was a big deal. I mean, we have records going back 5,000 years which show that they understood eclipses, and they believed that they coincided with the fall of rulers and the demise of nations and the failure of crops, and all bad stuff could happen. So they actually started recording and taking notes and doing the math. Thousands of years ago, they were that important to them. They used to think a dragon had eaten, or they had a mythological dragon, which they used to describe how it had eaten the sun or the moon, for instance. But anyway, let's go back to us. So, on the 20th of March, we saw the eclipse here in the UK. Oh, it was so exciting. It was amazing. You didn't get to see it in the USA. Ah, well, that's tough. But you get your turn on the 4th of April because the lunar eclipse happens over the Pacific Rim. So a lot of you guys will get to see it. Right, now, what does the eclipse do to the Earth? Well, because we have sophisticated recording systems now and we have very high-tech instruments, we can see the effect, we can record the effect on the Earth when the sun's light is suddenly stopped for a few minutes. And it's amazing. The graph is sensational. There is a huge blip because the sun's rays, which are normally so constant to the Earth, to the day side of the Earth, because they're normally interrupted, the sun's rays suddenly stop, and there is an enormous big disruption to the ionosphere, which is one of the Earth's layers of atmosphere. And it's a huge disruption. And so this just goes to show that there is a big effect. It's not just something that looks pretty. This particular eclipse that we had on the 20th of March, a lot of things all coincided together. It was the equinox. So it was when the sun was exactly over the bulge of the Earth. If the Earth is a circle, the widest part, the sun appeared to be over there. It wasn't coming from the north when the summer, it wasn't coming from the south when it's winter, it was coming from exactly over the equator, which is a very sensitive part in astrology. And the moon was with it, so we had great weight. We had the sun and the gravity of the sun and the earth together affecting the center of the earth. And in actual fact, we had super tides, the highest tides for donkey's years. And so that's another effect that we can look at and say, well, that's got to affect us because we're made of water, and if we have super tides because the combined gravity of the sun and the moon are pulling so hard that it's lifting all the water up on that side of the earth, then hey, that's got to be affecting us too. And in actual fact, yes, we do feel an effect. Humans can feel a sense of disquiet, a sense of disturbance, like you're being jangled. It can be a very Harry Potter time when pictures move and staircases go across the floor. Sudden events can happen which can feel, whoa, they can kind of like knock you out. Wow, how did that happen? And so it is a time when we are generally disrupted. But on the 20th of March, what was happening was it was very subterranean. We couldn't see a lot. You might have had an event, but it felt as if it was something deep inside that was more affected. It was subterranean. What happens is that is connected to the lunar eclipse on the full moon on the 4th of April. So over this 2-week period, the events start to unfold, and they kind of have their heyday or their harvest, or we see them fully on the 4th of April. So the 4th of April one is a lot more above ground, a lot more will be obvious. There is a lot more that we can work with because we can see it. But still you get the sense of disquiet, the sense of things being a bit jangly and not quite right, but there we go, that's the nature of eclipses. But there is something else to add here. On the 4th of April, guess what? The sun is in the same part of the sky as the planet Uranus, and that is square to Pluto, the Uranus-Pluto square. So we have, if you can imagine, the Earth in the middle. We've got Uranus and the sun on one side. We've got the moon on the other. They're in a straight line. And then off to the corner, so imagine that like that, half of a square like that, like a triangular shape. Over in the corner here, we have Pluto. Oh my goodness. So what this does is it starts up the Uranus-Pluto stuff all over again. Just when we thought it had gone, we've had our 7th hit, we've had all the magic, we've had all the potential, it's gone. No, 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 it's back again. So what can we expect? Well, we can expect there to be the usual stuff. So cyber attacks, nations in deep unrest, wars breaking out. Tragically, lone gunman massacres are a feature of this. And then we get Greece and the EU, of course. Personally, it is a time of great potential. There is huge magic and huge power in the Uranus-Pluto square. But we get frightened, and so we hang back. And we'll be very jangled because it's an eclipse. What you've got to do is be brave, stand in the front, keep believing, grab every opportunity. Don't turn anything down. It will be magical if you've got the courage to take it. Stand up strong. If you need any coaching on this, then get a personal reading with me and we'll sort it out for you. And then what happens as we move into April? Well, we get a lot of relationship stuff in April. There will be makeups, there'll be breakups, there'll be things going on the rocks, coming off the rocks, people starting out. It will be all up and down. It's the time when we sort out our relationships, when we have a deep clean of relationships, when they go into the washing machine and we see what comes out the other side. The 14th of April is an important one for this. There's something in the sky which says this is kind of like a make or break time, or an opportunity to kind of like look at the sell-by date and wonder about it. This is all good stuff because in crisis we deepen our relationships, it makes them better, or it means that they have no place in our future. It's good for us to do that sort of thing. In the meantime, the weather is getting better, and so we've just got to look forward to a wonderful April. There is lots of opportunity here. We just have to be brave and we just have to stand up and take everything and work with it, because it will be great if we do that. That's it. I'm looking forward so much to talking to you at the end of April so we can see what's happening in May. Have a great spring. Have a fabulous time. It was so lucky. I feel so lucky and blessed to be able to talk to you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm so looking forward to talking to you all again. Have a great month. Thank you. Bye-bye.